Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been making waves in the tech and transportation worlds, the future of autonomous driving and how it might reshape the taxi industry, ride-hailing services, and even the value of taxi licenses. With companies like Tesla pushing the boundaries with their robotaxi ambitions, it seems likely that we're on the cusp of a major shift in how we get around. But this transformation could have profound impacts on millions of taxi drivers worldwide and the value of their licenses unless governments step in to protect these vested interests. Let's break it down. Autonomous driving refers to vehicles that can navigate and operate without human intervention. We've seen various levels of autonomy, from basic cruise control to advanced systems that handle highway driving or city streets. The ultimate goal is full autonomy, where cars can go anywhere, anytime, without a driver. Companies like Tesla are leading the charge, with their recent robotaxi service launch in Austin, Texas. However, reports suggest this debut is limited, with only about 10 cars operating in a geofenced area, indicating that full autonomy is still a work in progress. The rise of autonomous vehicles could significantly disrupt the traditional taxi industry, with millions of taxi drivers worldwide, approximately 13,587 in New York City, and 17,000 black cab drivers in London alone. The potential for job displacement is substantial. Self-driving taxis could reduce costs by eliminating the need for human drivers, making them an attractive option for companies and consumers. This shift might force many drivers to seek new careers or retrain, a challenging prospect for those who have invested years in the industry. Taxi licenses, often called medallions, are permits that allow individuals or companies to operate taxis. In cities like New York, these licenses have historically been valuable, with some selling for over $1 million in the early 2010s. However, the rise of ride-hailing services like Uber and Lyft has already driven down their value, and autonomous vehicles could exacerbate this trend. Without government intervention to protect these licenses, their worth could plummet as demand for human-driven taxis decreases. Governments face a complex balancing act. They must regulate autonomous vehicles to ensure safety while addressing the concerns of taxi drivers and unions who advocate for protecting jobs. Some cities have already restricted ride-hailing services to support traditional taxis, and similar measures could be applied to autonomous vehicles. However, the benefits of autonomous driving, such as fewer accidents, lower emissions, and better traffic flow, might outweigh short-term job losses, making heavy-handed protectionism less likely in the long run. The shift to autonomous driving could usher in new revenue generation models. Companies like Tesla envision a future where car owners lease their vehicles to a robotaxi network, earning income when their cars are not in use. This mobility as a service model could transform car ownership into a revenue stream. However, challenges like insurance, liability, and public trust in autonomous technology could slow adoption. Additionally, autonomous taxis might compete with public transit, though they could also integrate with it to offer more flexible services. The future of autonomous driving is both exciting and uncertain. While it promises to revolutionize transportation, it poses significant challenges for taxi drivers and the value of their licenses. Governments will play a pivotal role in shaping this transition, balancing innovation with the needs of workers. As we move forward, the industry will need to address technical, regulatory, and societal hurdles to realize the full potential of self driving cars. The future of autonomous driving is poised to transform the transportation landscape with significant implications for the taxi industry, taxi drivers, and the value of taxi licenses. As companies like Tesla push forward with ambitious projects like their robotaxi service, the potential for disruption is immense. However, this transformation is not without challenges, including technological hurdles, regulatory complexities, and socio-economic impacts. Below, we explore the current state of autonomous driving, its potential effects on taxi drivers, the declining value of taxi licenses, the role of government intervention, and emerging revenue generation models, drawing on recent developments and data to provide a comprehensive overview. Autonomous driving refers to vehicles capable of navigating and operating without human intervention. The Society of Automotive Engineers defines 5 levels of autonomy from level 0, no automation, to level 5, full automation, where no human driver is needed. Most current systems, including Tesla's full self driving FSD, operate at level 2 or 3, requiring human oversight. The goal of full autonomy, level 4 or 5, remains elusive, but is the focus of intense development. Tesla's recent robotaxi launch in Austin, Texas, as reported by the Financial Times, involves only about 10 cars operating in a geofenced area with teleoperators ready to intervene, highlighting that true autonomy is still a work in progress. This limited debut underscores the technical challenges, such as ensuring safety in complex urban environments and handling rare edge cases that challenge AI systems. The taxi industry employs millions of drivers worldwide, with significant numbers in major cities. For instance, New York City has approximately 13,587 yellow taxi medallions, each typically operated by one driver, according to the New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission. In London, there are around 17,000 black cab drivers, as noted by UITP. Globally, estimates suggest there could be around 18 million taxis, implying a similar number of drivers, though this figure is rough due to variations in how taxis are operated, e.g., multiple drivers per vehicle in some regions. The rise of autonomous vehicles threatens to displace these drivers, as self-driving taxis could eliminate the need for human labor, reducing costs for operators. This trend is already evident with ride-hailing services like Uber and Lyft, which have disrupted traditional taxis. In London, private hire drivers, 106,356 as of October 2023, outnumber black cab drivers by nearly 6 to 1, according to Taxi Point, showing how technology driven services are reshaping the industry. For drivers, this could mean retraining for new careers or facing unemployment, a significant concern given the investment many have made in obtaining licenses and building their livelihoods. Taxi licenses, often called medallions, are highly regulated permits that grant the right to operate a taxi. In cities like New York, these licenses have historically been valuable assets, with medallions fetching over $1 million in the early 2010s, as reported by CNBC. However, the rise of ride hailing services has already driven down their value, with medallions now trading at a fraction of their peak price. Autonomous vehicles could further depress these values by reducing demand for human driven taxis. If companies like Tesla deploy large scale robotaxi fleets, the need for traditional taxi licenses could diminish, as autonomous vehicles might operate under different regulatory frameworks. Without government intervention to artificially prop up license values or restrict autonomous vehicle deployment, the economic viability of these licenses could collapse, leaving drivers and investors who own them in financial distress. Governments will play a critical role in shaping the transition to autonomous driving. They must balance the interests of taxi drivers and unions who advocate for job protection with the potential benefits of autonomous vehicles, such as improved safety, reduced emissions, and better traffic management. In some regions, governments have already intervened to protect traditional taxis. For example, New York City passed regulations in 2018 to limit the number of ride hailing vehicles and establish a minimum wage for drivers, as noted by Street Easy. Similar measures could be applied to autonomous vehicles, such as requiring special permits or imposing strict safety standards. However, as reported by CBT News, Tesla's CEO Elon Musk is advocating for federal regulations to streamline autonomous vehicle deployment, potentially bypassing stricter state level rules. In states like Texas, with permissive regulations, companies may find it easier to launch services, but other regions, particularly those with strong labor protections, may resist rapid adoption. The long term sustainability of protecting traditional taxi drivers is questionable, given the technological and economic advantages of autonomy. Autonomous driving could usher in new revenue models, shifting from traditional car ownership to mobility as a service. Tesla's vision, as outlined in the Financial Times, involves owners leasing their vehicles to a robotaxi network, generating income when not in use. This model could transform car ownership into a revenue stream, with Tesla projecting that its Cybercab, priced under $30,000, could make this economically viable. However, challenges remain, including owner willingness to share vehicles, maintenance costs, and liability concerns. Additionally, autonomous taxis could compete with public transit, potentially reducing ridership on buses and trains. Conversely, they could integrate with public transport systems, offering on demand services to complement existing infrastructure, as suggested by UITP. The global taxi market, valued at $244.02 billion in 2024 and projected to grow at a 4.66% compound annual growth rate through 2033, according to iMark Group, indicates strong demand for such services, which autonomous vehicles could capture. The shift to autonomous driving will have broader economic and societal impacts. Beyond taxi drivers, other transportation related jobs, such as truck drivers and delivery personnel, could face displacement. However, new opportunities may emerge in software development, vehicle maintenance, and AI data analysis. The transition will require significant retraining programs to support affected workers. Public perception and trust in autonomous technology will also be critical, as accidents involving self-driving cars could erode confidence, as highlighted by Electrek. Regulatory scrutiny, such as the NHTSA's investigation into Tesla's FSD system, as noted by OpenTools.ai, underscores the need for robust safety measures. The future of autonomous driving holds immense promise, but also significant challenges. For taxi drivers, the rise of self-driving vehicles could mean job losses and a decline in the value of taxi licenses, particularly without government intervention to protect these interests. New revenue models, such as mobility as a service offer exciting possibilities but face technical and societal hurdles. Governments will need to navigate a complex landscape, balancing innovation with the needs of workers and the public. As the industry evolves, the transformation will likely mirror historical shifts, like the transition from horse drawn carriages to automobiles, where progress ultimately prevailed despite resistance. The road ahead is uncertain, but the potential for safer, more efficient transportation is within reach. So, what do you think? Will autonomous driving transform our cities, or are the challenges too great? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.